What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Prop Wiz. I'm your host, Wiz. I've been on the move this morning, but I had to take some time to do this video. Very, very special video because I got to give a shout out to my peoples, my boy Roy, my girl Ingle. Man, the power couple. Ingle is an actor, voice actor, does voiceover work. My boy Roy, he acts. He's been in TV shows like The Walking Dead. He's been in movies, including Fast and the Furious. The whole family is dope. I already knew it, but they proved it by hooking me up with this dope shirt. I saw Ingle rocking this shirt at my daughter's birthday party. I absolutely loved it. She must have remembered it, and she hooked me up for my birthday. In fact, man, he gave me a little note. I'm not going to read the whole note, but I'm going to read the most important part of the note, which says, live long and prosper. Come on, fellow Star Trek fans. So I figured rocking my new Star Trek gear was the perfect time to pull out some of my Star Trek collectibles off the shelf and do some reviews that I missed the first time around. And today, specifically, move that bad boy like magic, we're going to talk about these 1/6 scale figures. Actually, before we talk about the figures, even though this is already open, I do have the box. So let's talk about the boxes first. Now, both of these bad boys have been in the storage for some years, so it's dusty. Now, the boxes are super simple, nothing to write home to mom about, but at the same time, that simplicity probably fits that old school, that retro 1960s Star Trek look, which is cool. The box art contains the figures themselves as the main display. That's on the front and the back. These are the actual figures. But on both of these, I do love the artwork, the painting that we have here of all the Star Trek, all the main Star Trek members from that movie, plus the Enterprise. So real dope. Going over both of them, starting with Spock. Again, it's labeled on the front just as Spock. The size just has the original Star Trek. We got the QM logo, which stands for Quantum Mechanix. Man, it's a toy company. And I guess this is saying this is part of their Master series. So this is some kind of special series. But anyway, on the back, again, we got a picture of Spock with a little description on there. It says, on Star Trek, the original series, Mr. Spock was the first officer of the Starship Enterprise and best friends to Captain James T. Kirk. For over 50 years, Star Trek has been a cultural touchstone and inspiration for all aspiring space travelers. QMX is proud to celebrate that tradition by bringing everyone's favorite Vulcan to Star Trek collectors everywhere. I don't know if this came out during one of the anniversaries, one of the Star Trek anniversaries. I really don't remember. It was a real big deal. I actually got Spock. No, I'm sorry. I actually got Captain Kirk before getting Spock. Spock was actually sold out. I was able to get my hands on Kirk, and they re-released this. Actually, no, some became available. It was one of the warehouse finds where it was already sold out, but they posted it saying, hey, we found a few in the warehouse, and I was able to get this. And these bad boys were very cheap. I think they were under $180. I'll probably have to look it up to see, but I remember thinking, man, they were really not priced bad at all, man. They might have been even under $150, around $150 or less. They were real cheap, which made me think it was going to be cheap. And I was surprisingly impressed when I opened them. But anyway, that's the boxes. Back to the figure itself. Okay, as for the figures themselves, I'm probably gonna go over Mr. Spock first since he's in a standing pose. It's a lot easier to view because I got these bad boys in the pose. It took me a minute to get him sitting down just right. So I'm probably ain't taking him out of the chair. We're doing this review as is. So with that being said, Spock would be easier since he is standing up. But anyway, real dope. Of course, like I said, when I took it out of the box, it was very, very impressive. I had seen some pictures of it before. They looked okay. They looked okay for the price. But when I got them here in hand, opened the box, they were pretty impressive. And in fact, some of the things that made it look simple, again, was probably just reminiscent of the show itself. This is a very, very old show. Even some of the new Star Trek episodes, the costumes and stuff, it seems like they're trying to go for this retro look that's very reminiscent of this. So plain black pants, man, they flare out, got that little bell bottom look at the end. The shirt is dope, very, very accurate. I will say that the joints are a little toyetic. You can see where it gets kind of skinnier in the joint areas, which is normal. It is an action figure. And that probably just all depends on how you pose it. You can probably fix that out. These figures aren't accessory heavy. They only come with a couple of accessories. He has this little detecting tool, the little bag thingy-majiggy. Sorry, horrible Star Trek fan. Don't remember what that's called, but he's got it. It's got a leathery look to it. Not saying that it's made out of leather, but it does look like the band and whatnot is leather. Both figures came with the phasers, which is very, very detailed. It actually does come apart where you got the little handheld phaser as well as the one with the handle. So that's very, very cool. In fact, I got one of these that I'm going to be doing a review on. I got one from Diamond Select, a life-size 1/1 scale one of these. So it's real cool to see a miniature 1/6 scale version of this thing that I've had sitting on the shelf for years. The coloring of it looks perfect, man. Very, very accurate. There's a magnet on the left-hand side. So there's obviously magnets inside of the pants shirt area where this thing can stick. And that's exactly how we have it on Spock. It's already there, magnetized, sticking on the side, which is real cool. The communicators have the same thing. It has a little magnet on the bottom where you can also put on there as well. It does open up, I think, does open up. And again, the detail is crazy. It's amazing. I also have a 1/1 scale of this. So again, seeing this thing in miniature is awesome. It's super dope. Okay, one thing that's real cool and impressive is the boots, and this is on both figures. The boots look like real leather. Dude, real good job, man. The hand sculpts look real good. A lot more detail than I normally expect from hands. There's a lot of detail in the hands. I love that. Spock, of course, comes with the Vulcan greeting. Kurt had various different hands that fit the chair. And by the way, I got both of these figures before I got the chair. I got the chair a little bit later. We'll talk about that in a second. The base is a Star Trek logo. Both figures came with this exact same thing. Head sculpt, my most favorite thing about this, absolutely perfect. Again, I had seen pictures of it before. The head sculpt, in terms of the scope itself, was looking good even in the photos, but the coloring looked a little, I don't know, absent of color. Just looked toyetic in that respect. But once I got the figure in person, again, the painting looks good. He looks, sitting this close to him, it looks like Spock, albeit a 1/6 scale version of him. Captain Kirk, same thing. Head sculpt, absolutely perfect. Looks like a young William Shatner. The outfit has all the same level of detail as the Spock. So of course, very consistent. Of course, it's the same company. They didn't miss a step in making him because again, if I'm not mistaken, Spock came out first. At least that's how I saw it here. I might be wrong. Now, one cool thing about the Kirk figure that's worth pointing out, man, he has this little pudge in his stomach area that I noticed even when I got the figure, when I had him standing up, because I didn't always have the chair. I used to have him out on the stand, and he has this little pudge area that I really didn't notice until I went back and watched the old series. In fact, I got the old series on now. That's actually accurate to the actual Captain Kirk. He has this, I don't know, it's weird because he was skinnier, so it doesn't quite look like he has a belly, but I'm thinking maybe he had a little bit, maybe he had like a garter belt, like something that was pushing in, something going on. But regardless, the figure reflects the actual William Shatner in that show. So the body type is, they put there's attention to detail here, man, that you got to respect. And you can see that even with these guys sitting together. Of course, he's got a slender frame. This looks like Spock. They didn't just put some random body on this thing, right? The last little piece, of course, is the chair. The chair was about $120, $130. I actually got that on Amazon, again, way after it sold out. So I had missed my chance to get the chair. Originally, I think I had it on my sideshow wish list. Ended up selling out. Took a while for it to sell out, but it eventually sold out. It was a wonderful price on there. And a couple of years later, about a year later, I checked Amazon and it was on Amazon, which is real rare to have these kind of figures, 1/6 scale figures on Amazon, but they had it. It was a good price. And in fact, like I said, it was like $120. I think I ended up getting it for. And this just set it off, man. It just gives me a cool way to display them without them looking exactly the same. They just don't sit in the detox, right? It's almost like we created a scene just from him sitting in the chair. And fortunately, the figure is flexible enough. Him sitting in that chair proves that. I was able to move the legs around. Of course, the boots are the most toughest part. Again, it feels like real leather. It's definitely leather-like. So it is kind of hard to move the joints, even though there's some joints in there. But that's probably how it is in real life, right? You're walking around with leather boots, man. You're not getting into no Spider-Man poses. So it ended up working right. Now, the chair does have a light-up function. We don't have it lit up. I don't think it takes batteries. It actually has something that you can plug in and keep it lit up. And, of course, we don't have any plugs here. So you just have to take my word for it that it lights up. Again, in my collection, I usually don't have things lit up because if it does take batteries, it run out of batteries. And of course, with this DTOF and so many things to plug in, it's not really convenient for me to have stuff plugged in like this. But anyway, chair is absolutely accurate to a T. I know this because I've been studying the diagrams photos and blueprints for this thing because I was hoping one day to make one of these things. That's a life-size one. I don't think it's going to happen. Don't know if it's going to happen. Definitely ain't happening no time soon because I don't know how to sew leather. The chair and some of the wood on there is going to be challenging if I wanted to be accurate as possible. With that being said, I do have a little bit of knowledge of the chair, and this bad boy is it, and it satisfied my thirst to actually own the 1/1 scale, at least for a little while. Anyways, that's basically it. I know I didn't go into a whole lot of detail. I was trying to keep this video a little bit short. But anyways, leave me some comments, man. Let me know what you guys think. Is this something you guys own? There was some other figures from the series. I believe Bones, Dr. McCoy, and I believe Scotty, and I'm sure Sulu as well. So I think there was 3 other figures in this series that were released, which means there's one more that we probably need. I wasn't able to get my hands on those, and they have sold out. I really do wish I had got them, man. But them, it's funny, man. 1 or 2 of these, I want to say Kurt took a little while to sell out. But it seemed like after they re-released this bad boy, all the rest of them, they go like that. But anyway, are you one of the lucky ones that have all of them? Are you a Star Trek fan? Is this something you would get if you don't, man? Let me know. Leave me some comments below. And by the way, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. As always, I love you guys to death, and I'll check you out next time, all right? Peace.
Yeah, the final here she goes. The final to explore strange. To explore strange.
We at the crossroads again, where the roads begin to grow again. The crows that I go against, the girls that's dating older men. The mental manipulation that's taking over them. Knowing if these young girls get focused, it'll be over then. Exposing their frozen thoughts, the coldest hearts they holding in. I see through these evil people, but still to be sobering. For a moment when we heal the sickness before we go again. Holding in the thoughts of hopelessness, but still we hoping this sickness that exists in this world that we live in. They doing things that leave scars, so it's hard to forgiving them. And I ain't God, so I have to accept these sinners when they begging him for forgiveness before the end of it. Days that they living in, we face imminent danger each day. We in it, the plane in the space spinning later. The fader dial is turned down, so there's no sound. Before now, it was loud, you couldn't hear the 4 pounds. Shooting 4 rounds in a dog pound. Your kids convinced the pronouns, the primary fight.